Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Yep, you're right. It's a goofy Monday morning for me. I just wait to see if you guys pick up on what kind of mood I'm in early Monday. Last week, if you remember, everything was, I was running behind, but I'm here on time today. How are you? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your robed host, Lauren Michaels Harris. You know, I put the robes back on after the time changes. So this is actually the robe from season 3. Yes, they're all hanging over there in the wardrobe arena, as I refer to it. How was your weekend? Oh, I can take that off. Let me get this out of the way. It takes up too much screen, if you ask me. Let me get this out of the way. There you go. Bye-bye. How was your weekend? It snowed here. Didn't stick, but we had flurries 3 times, and I was just listening backstage with our guest today, Aime Hutton, who's in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and her Siri or whatever came on and was telling her she had snow in the mix today. How are things shaping up in your neck of the woods? And I'm only asking people that are in cold areas. You people with nothing but sunshine and stuff, how nice for you. Anyway, keep it to yourself. So I'm kidding. Exciting weekend. The P3 90-minute preview was Saturday. We had a wonderful group of people. I have the number here. How many people signed up for that? 39 people signed up, and we had a great time. We'll be doing it again, probably not until after the first of the year, when that program actually will launch with 8 Wonderful people. 8 is the number that the download came, and I've been working and looking for about 2 years for those 8 people, and wonderful things are going to happen. If you'd like to hear more information about P3, just get at me, DM me, send a raven, whatever you need to do, smoke signals. I read them all. Okay, and that's the bell of purpose. What does it mean? Did I accidentally hit that? No, it's called the bell of purpose because I ring it on purpose. It is not a clever show gimmick. It is nothing like that. It is an actual opportunity. How so? I'll tell you. Because just like the bell has a ring to it, guess what? So does the truth. So when, and I know we're busy. I don't think you're just sitting there going, eating popcorn, drinking on your drink, looking at me. You're doing 15 other things. Let's just keep it real. We know how it is. That's the new normal. But I don't want us to forget when there's an opportunity in the middle of the intersection. When you hear the bell, it means stop what you're doing, look up, lean in. There's something out there that you might want to back the car up and take it home with you. Can I get an amen? There it is. Okay. Also at this time, help me. Won't you please welcome to the show. As always, she's here every day, Monday through Friday. My best gal, my sidekick. She's my Ed McMahon. Yes, she is. She's my little Ryan Seacrest, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. How you doing? And she's somewhere back. Oh, look. Wait, this way. See her? Back there, there's her book and her collector doll. That's right. Hi. I love Lucy. I do. Smart woman. Did you see Nicole Kidman's going to play her in a movie? Yeah, I watched the trailer. She looked like her. But they always show you the best stuff. Then you get to the theater and the best stuff was what you saw in those 2 minutes. I'm hoping that's not the case, or I might have to pick it. So, Nicole Kidman looks just like they showed her doing the one of my favorites, where she was stomping the grapes. Remember, she gets in the fight with that lady in the grape thing in Italy. And my top 3 favorites, drop your favorite I Love Lucy episode in the comments. My top one of all time, of course, Vita Vita Benjamin. Right. Tastes just like candy. Then I would have to say, the episode where she broke it to Ricky that she was going to have little Ricky. Remember, and she was at the Tropicana sitting there and he's going around trying to figure out who's having the baby. And then he found out it was Lucy. I got chills just now. And then, of course, the one with the grapes. Those are mine. What's your top one? In the comments it goes. So one more thing before we get the fabulous Aime Hutton in here, because she got it with the crack of dawn up there in Calgary, Alberta. We sold more tickets last week. And I know who our first person in the whole world was. They always get something special, a presentation and an award at the Power of We Symposium, which is April 28th. Let me get it on the screen so you can write it down. Okay, I need this one. Oh, I can't wait till I get to NBC where people do this stuff for me. I'm not kidding you. All the scrolling around and stuff. It's not easy. Okay, where is it? There it is. Chicago, April 28th at the beautiful Stan Mansion in Logan Square. We will have the 3rd annual, minus the year we were off for COVID, Power of We Symposium. 250 kids from the hardest hit areas of our city will be converging on the Stan Mansion, and some of the greatest loving up on kids people, all of us, all of you, all of anybody who wants to come and pour into these deserving youth ambassadors. Let them know that we have been through it too. We're just older versions of you. Come on out and join us as we pour into these kids. We have some alumni coming back from their Ivy League schools, those very first kids that were there. They're in our sponsorship video. We're going to have 3 of them in the house. They're going to speak to you. So I want to show you really quickly. Where is it? See, that's what I'm saying. This is just this. Oof. I'm just, oof. Okay, take a look. I could just sit here and grin and stare at that all day long. I love those kids, and I love you and all of the wonderful people that have supported us all the way through Atlanta, which was 2 years ago, and we received the GEM, the Global Empowerment Movement Award. You got it from the General Assembly at the United Nations in New York City, just 6 months after we did the one in Atlanta. So we're so honored, and we want you to be with us again, April 28th in Chicago. You don't want to miss it. Head over to powerofwesymposium.com, or Sherry, if you're here, Sherry McQueen, if you could grab the Eventbrite link, and drop that into the chat. That's the quickest and easiest way. Get over, get your tickets. We sell out, and we usually start selling tickets 2 months prior to the event. This year we started 5 months because people were asking. So they're going to go. If you want to come and join us, and I know you do, get over and get your tickets early. All righty. Who's here? Who is she? Aime Hutton. Aime Hutton. Well, guess what? You probably have heard about her. If not, you're about to. She is a true miracle survivor. Now, why does she say that? Because she was born 3 months early. Yes, get it? So that was just the start of the challenges that Aime has overcome in her lifetime. Hailing from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as a youth diversity advisor. Got to ring the bell on that one. Aime facilitates trainings, programs, live experiences, and workshops that educate and promote, create safe spaces at school and in the community. She's also mentors young teen girls privately, one-on-one, to build their own courage, their true voice, and trust in themselves. Now, as a 5-time, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know, right? And they wonder how I got on TV. Anyway, as a 5-time international best-selling author, compiler. What is that? Oh, are you in some of those, what do you call those, anthology books? Oh, that must be what she means. Aime shares hope, healing, and inspiration through her writing. And she sits on the Gender and Sexual Diversity Advisory Board with the Calgary Police Service. And she represents Alberta on the National Network for Mental Health Alliance Board. Whew. Okay, that was definitely, clearly a mouthful. But you know what? That's because she's out there getting it done. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. You guys know what we do when there's a first-timer here. Make them feel comfortable. Put your heart into this conversation. That's why it is an illuminated conversation. Here, let me remind you. Look up, dressing up the screen in 3, 2, 1. Bam! Okay, up at the top. This is where illuminated conversations come to light. And that means a conversation as you and us. If Aime and I want to talk to each other, we could have been on a FaceTime, or we could have just talked on the phone. No, we want you involved. So won't you please get involved? Put your hearts on the screen right now as we welcome to our stage Miss Aime Hutton. Whoa, here she comes. Quick, find me a poinsettia or something, some kind of big flower to put in my hair. Hurry up, I'll tell you later. Hi. Oh, you're here already. Oh my, scratch it. She's already got one. Oh man, I was just going to get a Billie Holiday esque thing for my hair. Oh wait, I don't even have any hair. I know. You look
kind of with the band then. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, Miss Aime.
I am doing well. Yeah, we're supposed to get snow today.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
I know. Did you have any over the weekend? We did.
No, we actually haven't had. We've had snow once already, and that was before. It was after Thanksgiving, because here in Canada we do Thanksgiving in October, so we had snow after Thanksgiving, but nothing stuck.
Can you explain why you guys have Thanksgiving? Because our Thanksgiving is about that whole thing about the Indians, or Native Americans. Don't send me any hate mail. I'm 59. Yeah, that's how we were raised. So how is Thanksgiving? Tell us about it there. I don't know.
It's similar. It's about the First Nations, the Indigenous people, and giving thanks. And I also believe it's because the changing of the seasons and harvest with the farmers, maybe they do it earlier, and that might be the reason why.
I wonder who had Thanksgiving first, the U.S. or Canada? Sherry McQueen?
I don't know.
Sherry McQueen, She is the end all to all. She finds out everything we need. Somebody find out who had Thanksgiving first, the United States or Canada, and who copied whom. So, Amy, so tell us a little bit about where what you do, and then we want to get into the story of little Amy, who came in, was like, I am not waiting for 9 months, girl. Hello, I'm ready. And you just said, here I am, world. Go ahead and take us back.
Yeah.
And then bring us up to today.
Yeah.
All you.
Yeah, would love to. And just take a moment to say thank you and gratitude for having me on the show. And I also want to acknowledge that I am here on Treaty 7 land, the home of the First Nations, the Blackfoot people, the Cree, and the home of the Métis region, Alberta 3. I just want to make acknowledgement to the land I'm on right now. And I would love to know what your listeners, if they know what treaty land they're on. I'll get into the reason of why I'll get into the reason on why I'm doing that later on in our show, if you want to ask me more about that. But yes, starting off with 1976. My mom.
Oh my God, I remember that. It was the bicentennial year for us. Susan B. Anthony dollars. Remember? Go ahead.
Yeah.
1976, you were born.
1976. My mom found out the hard way she couldn't carry to term. And they even gave her some medication to keep me inside longer. And I was having nothing of it, obviously. And I was born at 26 weeks gestation. My birth weight was 1 pound, 12 ounces.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I was given 24 hours to live.
You weighed, this is a 1 pound weight.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So if we saw a picture of you, I was a preemie too, but I was 4 pounds and something, but they had to keep me in a dresser drawer.
Yeah. So I lived. Oh. Yeah. So I lived in an incubator or an isolette for 2.5 months. I was born October 6th. I got to go home December 23rd. So Christmas is always really significantly just sentimental, important to me and my family.
Okay.
Now, hearing you say you were also premature and you were 4 pounds.
Uh-huh.
So, and even today in 2021, for a baby to go home from the neonatal intensive care unit, they need to be 5 pounds and breathing regular air. So for me, I wasn't, and I developed stomach infections, lung infections, blood infections. Like I was really touch and go. Like I was really sick.
Yes. For how long, Amy? How long as a little Amy did you deal with all of that before you came out the other side?
Well, I got to come home December 23rd, and I must have grown strong enough. And I have a little funny story. At least I can laugh at it. Hope your listeners can too. So it was December 22nd, and almost every day my parents would go in to visit me, and my dad was asking about bringing me home for Christmas, and he noticed that the nurses were going on vacation, and rightly so. They deserve, I take my hat off to nurses even today. They are amazing. And they were having their Christmas vacation, and my dad was like, well, can we take Amy home? Because we noticed that you're having Christmas and stuff. The nurses and the doctors said, well, have we weighed Amy today? No. So they put me on the scale to weigh me and reminded my dad and my mom that, I need to be 5 pounds to go home. Mm-hmm. And my dad actually took his thumb and put it on the scale and said, look, doctor, look, nurse, whoever their names were, Amy's 5 pounds now. She can come home.
And you weren't.
I wasn't fully 5 pounds yet. And he just wanted me home because I'm the older sister.
Oh, I got chills from that.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny. That was touching.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But it's touching, but also putting his thumb on the scale, that part I can kind of it makes me giggle. He was bending the rules.
And look, he wasn't wrong. Here you are.
Here I am. Yeah, so that
So,
was my like,
yes. I'm sorry. We have a
yeah,
little bit of a lag, you guys, so bear with us.
yeah.
So Amy, okay. So take us through the journey because I have a feeling that you have some inside intel, some stories, some backstory on why you work with young people today. I know I work with young people today, and it's because of when I was a young person myself, as in the most is the case with most of us. So tell us about the journey for young Amy as she moved up through the ranks of life that led her to the work she does today.
Yeah, so I'm going to share another story. And growing up, the first couple of days of school, when you're like those younger grades, grade 1 to grade 3, it's always very nervous the first couple of days for many students. Like, where's my teacher? Where's my desk? Where do I put my indoor shoes? Like, all those things. And kids can get quite nervous around that. And I was too. In grade 3, though, it got worse. The teachers noticed that I was having problems in my academic studies. I was really struggling with my grammar, my spelling, my math, my comprehension. So really all the core subjects. And the teachers had a meeting with my parents and I think a principal, and said, we want to hold Amy back. We want to put her into, well, no, not hold her back. We want to put her into special education. We want to segregate her, pull her out, put her into special ed, and we'll do the rest of her schooling from grades 3 to grade 8, or grade 4 to grade 8, I guess. And my parents, in their wonderful wisdom, and still to this day, I don't know how it all transpired, yet they convinced my teachers and the principal to actually, instead of putting me into special education, to hold me back a year. So technically I failed grade 3 and I had to redo it. And I was pulled out of class for help, again, for my spelling and my grammar and so on and so forth. Yet that's when the bullying started, because to the kids, I was, and also according, like, in the eyes of a child, I'm the new kid in the class, even though I wasn't.
Okay, hold on. Oh my God, I got a brain freeze from my shake. Ow! Somebody told me, wait. Hey, it worked. So I read that. I just remembered in Reader's Digest. If you have a brain freeze, push on the roof of your mouth. Yes. It did it. Ding. Okay, sorry about that. I was like, okay. Let me just say this about being held back, because my best friend during like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Aaron Mills, he's a minister today. He got bullied, and that's how we became friends, because when he came to our school, he made the mistake of telling somebody that he had flunked, because that's what we used to call it. Remember, no one said held back. The kids didn't. You flunked! So he flunked. I mean, he was held back from kindergarten. And so, the kids took that. I was like, why would you tell people that? Who flunks kindergarten? He did. But anyway, hey, he's got a couple master's degrees today. So, okay, so you started getting bullied because you were at the same school with the same kids who went ahead. That's what I always wondered about that. What that felt like, because you see everybody else go to the next classroom, the next level, and here you are still back there with kids you used to be like, hi, little kids. Now you're back there with them. How did it feel? What were they doing?
So I felt isolated, alone. I'm pretty sure that's when all my mental health stuff started as a young person.
Do you remember what they used to call you?
Oh gosh, yes.
Tell us.
They used to. So between grades 3 and grade 8, so that was my elementary school, was from kindergarten to grade 8, and I'll get into high school in a minute. But in between grades 3 and grade 8, I was called every name under the sun that you could think of. The 5, though, that I remember were stupid. The 5 I name are stupid, ugly, dumb, retarded, and a loser. Those were the 5 names.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Those were, and more. Like, I was called, other names. And then every day, and I was laughed at when I opened my mouth to speak because of my comprehension and my learning delays. I was slower and I wasn't reading as fast, and I struggled to read. Remember reading? The teacher would call on you to read like 3 or 4 sentences in the class. I like freaked out to do that. I was not a happy camper doing that, and I was laughed at. I was always picked last for group work or finding a, getting a team. I was picked last for anything sport related, which my athletics kind of came more in high school. And then though, when things in grade 5, it started to get worse. In grade 5, I was actually physically attacked. I was grabbed and pushed. I was grabbed and pushed by a group of girls who asked me, Amy, do you like this boy? And I was like, I think so. I don't know how to answer because I don't know what you're going to do to me. So I'll just say yes. And what happened was they actually went and asked this other boy the same question. Hey, do you like Amy? And I guess he said yes as well, because the next thing I know, I'm being pushed and dragged across the school playground and pushed down on the ground. And then this boy was pushed on top of me. And all I remember were hands grabbing and like hooting and hollering and screaming. And then if I zoom out and look at it now, I was like, where was the teacher? It was school recess. So the monitor should be there. Somebody out there. And luckily someone did come eventually, but nothing was done. There was no consequence. There was no, the kids weren't in trouble, and life went on. And from that moment on, I was scared to like be anywhere. And in grade 7, I was physically attacked again for the second time by one girl with a whole bunch of onlookers in the girls' change room. And because I had to do grade 3 over again, my body developed a little bit quicker than the rest of the kids in the class or the girls in the class. And I've been blessed with a lovely voluptuous chest. And that started early too.
So in other words, you're stacked.
Yeah. Okay, so a girl came up behind me in grade 8 and I was in grade 7, so I was in a grade 7-8 split. And this girl came up behind me and grabbed me by my bra strap and flung me around in circles and just laughed and then let go. And I went flying into a locker or the coat hook area. And all I remember was them all laughing, me crying, and the teacher again coming into the locker room eventually, looking at me red in the face and not doing anything about it. So my fear, I'm not safe. I like everything. Like somehow I graduated grade 8 and I got into high school. Luckily in high school, the bullying stopped because I went from a feeder school, they're called, of like 40 graduating grade 8s into a high school with 2,500 students.
So now you're just a face in the crowd.
Right. I'm just a face in the crowd. And the bullying stopped by my peers. I got involved. Remember I said the athletics kind of came later in my high school. I got involved in the swim team. I was almost at provincial level to compete provincially for swimming. I was in the field hockey team, and we also did I did dragon boat. Dragon boat.
Dragon?
Dragon boat. It's a Chinese festival of boats that are canoe paddled. Well, their paddles are smaller, but it's a big, huge race. Anywho.
Okay.
When I was in grade 12, I was taking a senior level credit course in biology. And in Ontario at that point too, you did a grade 13 year, you did a 5th year of high school for those marks only to count for university, to get into university. So I did one of those courses in grade 12 just to get the ball rolling a bit. And I took a senior level course in biology. And I noticed I was having some problems right away. And because I was a little bit more feeling a little bit more confident and secure in myself a little bit, and I had started to find my voice, I went to the teacher for help. And I said, sir, I'm like, can I talk with you after class or after school, whatever, I'd get some homework help. And he said, sure, fine, no problem. So I go to his classroom after school, and he starts telling me things, and I start writing things down. And then he stops me and he's like, Amy, you're left-handed. Yeah. You'll never pass my class. Pardon me? Like I was gobsmacked. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Can I get a tutor? Can I get like someone else to do with anything? He's like, no, you're just not going to pass my class. And that was really hard because he was the head of the science department. So I sat quiet as an elf, so quiet as a mouse, until towards the end of term or end of semester, when we were doing anatomy and physiology of the human body. And because I was a lifeguard and a swim instructor, and I knew I had my first aid, certificate, I had a bit more knowledge than the average, 18-year-old high school student. And I started answering the questions again and raising my hand and getting the answers correctly. And the teacher stopped me now, this time in front of everybody in the class, we'll say 30 students, stopped me in the class. And he's like, "Where did you come from?" And I sat and thought to myself, I did not say this out loud, but I thought, "Sir, I've been here this entire time and you just haven't seen me."
Oh.
So again, the feeling of safety at school was lost. And that is why I'm so passionate about helping girls age 11 to 14, because I have a coach and a business coach, a speaker coach. And she said to me, she's like, "Aime, where was your pain most?" And I was like, that grade 7, 8, that 11, that preteen age. And she's like, "Okay, that's the group you need to focus on." So the 11 to 14-year-olds are the girls I support in helping them feel safe. And like, I wish we could with COVID, we all hear about flatten the curve of COVID and so on and so forth. I wish we could flatten the curve of bullying. Like, getting emotional even thinking about it. Like, if we could just stop the bullying, what a wonderful world this would be.
You can say that again. Wow. Well, thank you for all of that backstory, and so sorry you had to endure all of that. But again, as we all know, nothing is ever about just one thing. Therefore, with those doors where the trauma came bursting through, there's always that little doggy door where a future blessing is born at the same time into the process of becoming. And that's what we're going to talk about when we return from this short commercial break. We're going to talk to Aime about that door where her passion found its way into what she's doing today to change and affect the lives of not just young girls, but everyone. We'll be back in just a second. I want you to not go away. Don't you dare move. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's the Cosmo Sapiens, hosted by the Galaxis Gal and Lauren Michaels Harris.
This is the Galaxis Gal, bringing you the stories of the human beings making space for all of us. Because just like on Earth, in space, humanity should be our business.
'Cause everybody wants to be an astronaut. Every Thursday and Sunday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on iRock Space Radio.
Welcome back to the show. We're in the midst of today's episode of Bathrobe Moments, where my guest is Aime Hutton, a youth diversity advisor. She's in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. She'll be back in just a moment. She's helping herself to some free swag we have. I'm kidding. She'll be right back. This morning, real thing. This morning, I was in the grocery store before I went to the health club, and because I needed to get some things, and you guys know I had a wisdom tooth pulled on Friday, right? And so I was listening, and just a few weeks ago we had the supply chain specialist on, who was telling us about all the things to look forward to as far as things missing from our store. And I overheard a woman having a fit this morning because there was no Diet Coke in the store. Well, they weren't in bottles; they were just cans, and they were saying, "Ma'am, they just can't get it to us." I was never more happy in my life that I gave up Diet Coke for this. No kidding, because I would. I'd have probably been under restraint somewhere right now, the way I used to be hooked on it. So I am so glad I made a better choice and I reached for this today. What is it? It's V8. 100% vegetable juice from concentrate, only 60 calories in every can, and count them. 1, 2, 2, 1. 2 full servings of vegetables in every can. So easy to find. Just head down the juice aisle in your local grocery store and you'll find it. Don't say, oops, I could have had a V8. Just pick one up and try it. You'll be glad you did. And before I get Amy in here, you guys, you saw the thing in the promo about Power of We, free swag. We put those bags on every chair for every child, 250 kids. So if you are an author or you know an author, if you are a person who can do bracelets or anything that is affirming, that is, last year we had some women from Nashua, New Hampshire, a book club of women. I think they were average age 50 to 70. They sat down and wrote 200 hand notes to every child. And we put those in the bags. Anything that a kid can reach to when no one is there. Okay. I'm not trying to put water bottles with, Sprite's name on it, Frisbees, things that aren't going to, no. We want things in there that when they feel like they're invisible and no one is there for them, they can go to that swag bag from the Power Week Symposium and pull out something that speaks to their needs and speaks to their soul. So if you have an idea of something that should go in the bag, or somebody who's got something great that they might want to donate to put into the bag, they don't have to have 250 of them. Not every bag is the same, but every kid is the same because they're all special and they all have needs. So there you go. Next time somebody tells you your kid or a kid or if you have a memory of when they told you were special needs, just like Amy was talking about, like they told me, say you doggone tootin'. All kids are special and all kids have needs. If you can help us, reach out to me and I'll tell you how to get your donations into our hands. God bless you. Thank you so much. Aime Hutton, come on back in here. How are you?
I'm good. I just need to say something quick. I'm in love with what you're doing in April. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like right up my alley. So
yeah. You should come.
If we can zoom in.
Or you're going to be able to, they're also going to be pay-per-view tickets. So you can watch that way. You can participate that way too. Those don't go on sale until February, however. But you'll still be able to participate if you're somewhere else in the world. Or if you know people, I know you know people that want to throw stuff into those wonderful swag bags, get at us. Go like this. Okay, there to go. That'll work.
That's cool.
So tell us. Youth diversity advisor. How did you come up with this? Did you go somewhere, take a class? Where did this come from and why do you do it?
Yeah, so the reason why I did it was what I shared in the first half of the show, because of all the trauma I went through and I experienced, and that's what drives me to keep going with my business of Inch by Inch Empowerment. Now, Youth Diversity Advisor. One of my core beliefs, or core values, and beliefs. One of my core values is diversity and also inclusion. That everybody belongs, everybody deserves a seat at the table and a voice at the table to be heard. So that's where the diversity part comes from. The word advisor, I am very much about keeping in integrity and keeping authentically who I am. Yes. And I am not a certified life coach. I don't have any certification in the coaching world. So that's why I went with the word advisor. Nice. Because I'm advising. Yes, I'm coaching. When I have my private one-on-one clients and stuff. Yes, I'm coaching. Yet outward facing, I don't call myself that because I'm not in integrity of being a life coach.
I'm you know what? I want to thank you right here and now for your transparency, because a lot of people throw any old shingle up, and then people who are really looking take everybody and put them all inside one big barrel, and then they go for that one time that they have the courage to try something that's been difficult and something not so good happens, and they write the entire opportunity or possibility off. So I appreciate your transparency about why you give yourself the name that you do. Now, who and how do you find your way to these kids? How do you get there? And what are they telling you is important to them nowadays? Because a lot of people don't ask kids, what is it you need? What is it that you feel you are missing? So tell us what you're hearing out there on the streets, on the front lines.
Yeah, so I've talked with both parents and youth, girls, and the parents are saying they want their daughter to increase their self-esteem, increase their self-confidence, increase their self-worth, and even their self-love. And then when I've talked to girls, they say the same thing. They're like, I want to believe in myself more. I want to be able to love myself. I want to overcome the bully in school. I'm like, I see you. I hear you. I get it. I can help you. And it's how I get my clients right now is just word of mouth and sharing things on social media, Facebook. And I am offering, if anyone out there of your listeners watching, I see a few people in the comments sharing story. If any of them are a parent or a guardian of a young girl age 11 to 14, please reach out to me, and I would love to talk to you for 30 minutes to see if we're fit. And then I have the coaching program or the mentorship. Again, see, I call it mentorship when I'm advertising it because I'm not a coach.
Right.
The mentorship opportunity is either a 3-month commitment or a 6-month commitment. And then there's different packages in there of the level of engagement you would like me to have with your daughter. Either it could be like twice a month a Zoom call, or it could be every week a Zoom call. And then it could also be, every week plus one day where you have actually access to me during the day to hot seat, like get you through the fire moments of your day.
Yeah, I have those with my coaching program called fast action calls where people get to you, talk me down. So, but you okay, girls, they are, small versions of women. But you also, thank you, Michelle, for throwing this out there so we don't forget to talk about it. Michelle says, Aime is the person who introduced me to Women Talk. I'm looking forward to hearing her message this morning. What is Women Talk? So it's not just small pre-women, young ladies, it's women in general. Talk about that if you could. Tell us what you're doing there.
Yeah, so Women Talk is not my baby. You need to we need to introduce you to Bridget Lessard-DL, who is the organizer woman of Women Talk Canada. And before COVID, Women Talk Canada had chapters in a number of cities here in Alberta, and I believe a couple on the West Coast and one in Ontario. And it was just evenings. It was in the evening, so after work. And we would gather at normally a restaurant in a private room. And we would there would be 3 talkers, they were called, that would share their story, just like kind of what I did earlier. And the women who speak there don't have to be professional speakers. They could be even women that have never shared their story ever. And they're doing it for the first time. And
I'm sorry.
It was a beautiful.
Thank you, Sherry. You guys had Thanksgiving first.
Yes.
I did not expect that. Didn't see it coming. Okay, anyway, keep going. So, what do you love most about this Women Talk thing? Why is it so important to you that you bring in people like Michelle?
I love Women Talk because it's the story. I loved hearing the women's stories every month. And I was actually volunteering at the door. Like I was like the greeter and like take your ticket and so on and so forth at Women Talk every week or every month. And it was just always a great time out with the ladies and sharing inspiration. And as I said, some of the women up there who shared their story had shared it for the first time. And, I've spoke at Women Talk across the province a few times. And the most recent one I did before COVID
Mhm.
was actually all about breaking down walls. So I shared, I have many stories like many people. I shared about being in $30,000 in credit card debt and how I overcame that. I also shared about my dating violence that I experienced in university and being stalked. And then the most recent story, and Lauren, I kind of checked out your Facebook page and I noticed that you have a beautiful man in your life. And I just want to say
My husband?
congratulations. Yes.
Yes,
I
thank
want to
you.
say congratulations for that. So my last story that I shared was actually my coming out story. And
I just thought you liked multicolored flags back there. I wasn't going to out you, but thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is a newer to me. And I only realized who I was at my core in 2018. And it's been a journey of realizing who I am at my core. And it was last year in 2020 when my coach, again, kept asking me in a private call, Aime, what do you need to say to me? Because at that point I thought I was bisexual, attracted to both men and women. Yes. And she's like, no, what do you need to say to me? And I finally like squeaked it out in a whisper that I'm only attracted to women. And she had me say that over and over again until I'm confident enough to say, hi, my name is Aime Hutton and I'm a lesbian attracted to women.
What? I'm just kidding. See, that's what most people are afraid of. Right. And and what has that moment of exhaling really what it is? What has that done for you? What's the number one thing it has afforded you, in your opinion?
Freedom to be myself and accepting who I am. And, you know, I'm still working through, as I'm guessing, not just me, but other people who are in the LGBTQ plus family, of being secure and confident and not afraid to walk down the street and hold my partner's hand, because I now do have a girlfriend.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you know, the thing is, I can see it be even more tougher for the person who has been extremely bullied in the past. You know, as an adult, just because you're a grown up now doesn't mean that you're not afraid of that happening again. You never forget that stuff.
Yeah, and you know, it did happen. We're in November. Back in May. Yes, May. I have a mask because we have to wear them for COVID going into buildings and stuff. I have one that I got last year, and it's a rainbow heart, and it says Pride 2020 on it.
Okay.
And I was walking in my neighborhood, and I kind of live fringe. I live in near downtown, but also at the outskirt area of what would be the LGBT community in the city, like geographically speaking. Okay. And I was wearing this mask, getting ready to go into a building, and this person on the street corner who was spouting his thoughts, and you know, everyone has the right to their thoughts and everything. He looked at me, pointed at me, and he's like, Aime, or not to say my name, but you're going to go burn in hell. This is 2021 in May in Calgary, Alberta. So violence and hate speech against the LGBT community is still very much alive. And that is, you know, I didn't feel safe. I was single at that point, and I didn't have people around me. All I had really was the Gender and Sexual Diversity Advisory Board with the Calgary Police Service. And I went to them. I'm like, this is just what happened. I don't know what to do. So, you know, I want to touch on.
Oh, real quick, because I have those too. I took a chance when I went to speak at the Star Trek convention in August in Las Vegas, and I ordered, you know, my husband was ordering him some bling masks to match all of his little outfits and stuff, and I ordered some LGBT masks, a set of 3. And I tell you what I love about it. I give those men who are afraid, or those women, whoever, the person, whatever their reason for staring is, because they only see in this much. I use it to make me feel better about myself, because I forget I have it on. So when I say, I'm like, look at you checking me. Go ahead. Look all you want to. You know what I mean? But, already married. But I had LOVE. I have one, and it's all rainbowy, and it has a heart just like yours. And a woman and her husband, I guess you would say a couple, and their 3 children. We're at the gelato thing. Okay, all right. It was ice cream. We were at the ice cream thing in the store, and they turned around and she goes, "Oh my God, she said, actually, we love that mask." And I was like, "We do?" And I looked at her and she goes, "Yes." She goes, "Where did you get it?" And they went on and on and on, and we talked, and the kids asked questions, and I just loved it. And I'm going to tell you something. That was the last day that I ever was hesitant about, because I used to keep a regular mask on the car seat and then that one. Depending on where I was, is it safe to wear this here? Screw it. I'm going to wear it wherever I'm at. So I thank you. I applaud you for all of that. Keep going. Tell us about, because you're brand new out. So how is that changed inside, let's say, your family dynamic? Because you got a holiday coming up. There's going to be somebody there that's going to find out this year. You heard what they said about Aime, right? You know who's that with her. And what about this one? What about this? I'm going to shut up. What about this one? Oh, have you met Amy's friend?
So the fun, interesting thing about all this is I came out to my parents in 2019 as bisexual. I wrote them a beautiful letter with help. My coach helped me write it, and I also told my sister. And there was fear there because growing up, all the boys, like, they would make jokes or side comments and so on and so forth. And there was an email. So back in the 90s, early 90s, when I was, 1996, I was in university, and I came home for Christmas or the end of school year. And I saw an email that was addressed, not to me, but about me. Because at that point, our family had one email. So if you wanted to get a hold of somebody, you put their name in the subject line.
Oh.
And I read this email that was about me, not to me. And it was from my sister writing to a family friend who had just come out as gay. And they were asking, my sister was asking, do they think I am? Because they were wondering, and so on and so forth. And
you know anything about Aime? Right in front of you, though.
Yeah. So I the response I read, and then he went on to say, he's like, "I don't know if she is, but the main thing is, if she is, can you still love her?" And the response I read back was no. And I don't know if that no was just from my sister or from my family as a whole. So for me to come out and tell my parents when I'm 40 something years old, I'm 45 now, so 43, 42-ish, was really scary. So fast forward to now, I live here in Alberta. My parents and my family live in Ontario, which is east above New York, Boston, over there. And I don't go home for Christmas, just because this is a fun fact about traveling across Canada in a plane. If you want to if I want to go from Calgary to London, Ontario, where I would fly into to see my family, I would pay about $1,000 to fly from Calgary to Ontario. And the funny part about that is Lauren, I could pay that same price and go to London, England.
I was going to say, you could go anywhere in the world practically. Why is it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Okay.
So that's why I don't go home. So my parents, at Christmas time. And so my parents met my girlfriend. They know, because I've sent a couple of pictures privately, like when she asked me to be my girlfriend. When she asked to be my girlfriend,
when she asked you if you want to go steady.
Yeah. I took a picture of us, the two of us, and then I sent it to my parents privately and my sister in a, like, not even Facebook, like text messaging. And they were happy. They said they were happy and stuff. And then, which made me happy and just feeling a bit more comfortable and stuff. So they haven't met yet. Maybe one day when the stars align and everyone can travel again in general too, because
Well, here's one thing I want to ask you, because we have about 5 minutes left.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you this because it was something I experienced just this morning. on Mondays, I go to a men's class. All of us are over 50. Actually, am I the? No, I'm not the youngest. There's a guy who's like 54. I'm 59, but most of the guys are even older than I. And anyway, a woman is our trainer, Karen. And we were doing something today with the bands, and we were standing on, and she goes, okay, now everybody do some curls for the girls. And I just stood there. And she goes, what are you waiting on, Lauren? And I said, I'm waiting on the rolls for the bows. And I was like, I ain't trying to do no curls for no girl, right? And the reason I mentioned that, how does it make you feel when people assume? Do you feel like that stands out more now that you are 100% who you are? Because I used to like it when they gave me an excuse to pretend to be something other than I was. Like, oh, they don't even know I'm gay. Back when I was closeted. Now I'm like, hold up. You see, so how does that happen? How you're so new? I'm just interested. How's that feel for you?
Yeah, I do notice it, and because I listen, and it'll bother me, and people, and the reason why I did that land acknowledgement earlier when we first started our show is because the First Nations and the Indigenous population are having situations with the police. And, the LGBT community here in Canada also have history of dealings with the police, just like in the United States. Wow. And so when I hear it about the gender and the, sorry, cat.
It's okay.
When I hear the different things going on, I'm like, yes, that too. And then on Facebook, and I'm very vocal on Facebook about it, when I see something that's transgender phobia, like there's a meme that went around that was like, it's a blue car with a silver door. And it's like, yes, I'm blue, but I identify more as silver right now. And I'm like, no, that's wrong. That's not, like, gender and orientation is not to be made fun of. And who you're attracted to isn't to be made fun of.
And my husband brought up, I'm sorry. Since you brought that up, I would say, and there's another thing that's out there. I'm going to show it tomorrow. You guys tune in tomorrow. I'm going to show it to you. I got it. I just got to load it here. Where we watched a thing of a little boy at some concert for kids where mainly little girls go, and they dress up like the girls that are in the group. And he was dancing, and all these other teen girls were looking, or preteen girls. And there was a whole bunch of stuff on social media about why would you let him, this, that, and the other. And so, yeah, that's, we ought to get you back. We ought to do that show together and talk about that.
I'd love to.
Go on. Yeah, we need to change.
Yeah, so I will speak my mind. And that's also one of my, I'll call it my superpowers, is when I don't outright say it, obviously, yet I will work with girls who are questioning their sexuality. Mm-hmm. That's my superpower, really, is helping those girls navigate all those feelings because when I just realized who I was at my core in 2018, I felt like an alien in my own body.
Right. I get it.
Yeah. So to help these young girls aged 11 to 14, on top of the bullying, on top of their mental health, let's add in, if it's there, their questioning of their sexuality and who they're attracted to. So I can support a young girl in that as well.
That's awesome. On the screen, everybody, is one of the numerous ways to continue the dialogue with Aime Hutton, should you so choose. Aime at inchbyinchempowerment.com is one. If you would like to check out her Facebook group, here is that it?
That's
Facebook.com/groups.
It's missing the number part.
Well, I copied and pasted.
Weird.
Oh, you see that comes after it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so what you're this
here. Let me get it again.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
do it again. And while you're doing that, so what your listeners can do is search for Inch by Inch Empowerment Community. And it's a Facebook group for parents and educators or youth leaders of girls age 11 to 14 who want to focus on the mental health and the emotional health of their daughter or that young girl that they support.
Okay, and I've dropped that Facebook
the private,
group chat.
safe.
Yeah, I dropped that Facebook group one inside the chat because nobody's going to remember that big old long number and all that.
Yeah, I
so
know.
it's inside for convenience, folks. And then you also have IBI Empowerment.
Yes.
Which is inch by inch empowerment. Right?
Yes.
And here's your here's Amy's email if you want to reach out and just talk privately. So Aime, I want to thank you so much for all you do. Let's stay in touch. I think we could do some things together. I really appreciate your honesty, your transparency, and that you are just, I just love it. I just love it. You're a great, great spirit, and we need to get you wherever you can go to help these young women find their way. And I'm really proud of you. I just want to say that. And thank you, Michelle Nordoff, for this connector. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. Yes, yes. So stay inside for a second. I want to give you my phone number so we can connect. You guys, tomorrow is a great show. One of my very first coaching clients is here tomorrow, Misty Lane. She'll be here. And this weekend, out of Australia, she and I both, I was voted, what was it? Global Achievers International Coach of the Year. So that was great. We had a bunch of people there at the summit/seminar. And Misty Lane was the Global Achievers Achiever of the Year. So she's going to be here talking about her television show, her book, her women's empowerment group, and her new retreat that is coming up after the first of the year. So tune in tomorrow. I'll meet all of you, God willing, out front on the front porch at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to do it all again. But in the meantime, get out today. Pour into this world. Take great to greater, bright to brighter, smart to smarter, and bold to bolder. And for those of you like me who had it rough in school, yes, you can even take good to gooder. So there you go. I want you to get out and be the best you can. Touch somebody's heart today and change somebody's life. Aime, again, a real pleasure. God bless you. Thank you so much for all you do. We hope to see you back here again real soon. You guys, I'll see you tomorrow for your next installment of Bathrobe Moments.